Hey guys, I just wanted to do a bonus Giant Monsters Monday video on the Bandai America Godzilla fighting figure, the Bite and Thrash Godzilla. If you saw on my Facebook, I picked this up fairly recently. My Toys R Us kind of went past the embargo date and allowed this thing to come out a little early. And I picked it up like mid last week, but today, Monday the 17th, this is the day officially this stuff can go up for sale. So go to your Toys R Us's, that's the only store I know that has it. I think I heard people saying Kmart might have them too, but I'm hoping Target and Walmart will carry them as well. I'm kind of hoping there's a big push for this movie. Also, more places means more chance of a sale. But you can go and actually pick these guys up starting now officially, if you haven't before, also online, obviously. And yeah, I'm doing a normal Giant Monsters Monday review. I have a Trendmasters Godzilla playset from the mid-90s that I thought would be kind of interesting to mess around with. And that's already recorded and edited and just processing right now. But because I don't like to review movie figures before the movie's out, I like to see the movie and kind of, be able to talk with that. I talked about this in my last vlog, but I wanted to show this guy off just in case anybody was interested, since these are officially released today, and at least give you a vague idea of what's here. So this is the figure itself, and it's not a bad sculpt on it. It looks decently like the new Godzilla sculpt. One big issue is we've got a lot of bolts going down the side on this backside, and the way he's carded, like, you can't see any of this. The cardboard's right up against him, and it's really hard to notice quite how bad this is until you get him out of package. Another weird thing I've noticed with him is this is very child-friendly. It seems to be a big way they're going with a lot of these Godzilla figures. I know the Giant Jack specific one is similar, but like the top of his head, the spine's back here, the tip of his tail, his forearms, and his feet are all a softer rubber material, so you're not gonna, poke your eye out with it or something. So, I mean, it's a little lame. We are gonna get the NECA ones later. They did reveal the official pictures today. They look pretty sweet. I can't wait, especially for the price tag on them. I know NECA is gonna do a great job, and of course, SH Monster Art's doing theirs as well. So, I'll probably have several of these Godzillas. But to tide me over, I did get this guy. And he is in good scale with the rest of the 6-inch Bandai line. This is the Bandai Creations Final Wars Godzilla. The American release you'll find in Toys R Us. So they are pretty in scale with one another. Or not really in scale, but they're a similar height. This Godzilla, of course, is the largest Godzilla to date. So we have that going on. Doesn't have much articulation. The jaw kind of flaps around freely. The arms will swivel up here at the shoulder. He will bend at the elbow very loosely, and his legs will move just barely. But this figure is a gimmick figure. On the back here, you can see this little lump on his spine. This is actually kind of a puppeteering mechanism. So if I go from side to side with it, Godzilla will thrash side to side, and it's kind of interesting. It's a little lame because he doesn't move that far and his limbs just kind of flail loosely. And then if you push in on it, as you might have seen on my Instagram video, he kind of thrashes his upper torso. He puts some Slayer on and have him kind of head banging along to it, and the jaw kind of weakly moves and looks like it's chomping. It's not the best figure. And I know at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is a toy for little kids. This is the kind of thing I would have gotten back in '98 when the other Godzilla movie came out. And it really is the same kind of idea. It's a different scale than a lot of those other ones, but this is basically what I would have expected for a mass market, children-oriented line. A sculpt that's just kind of soft, paint that's pretty minimal, and some goofy action gimmick. But in a weird way, it makes me happy. It's like the puppeteering mechanism on it just kind of is amusing to play with. And I could imagine if you had little cardboard buildings or something, and you were a little kid, you could just sit there and just go nuts, attack things. I could see it being a lot of fun for a little kid to play with, and it's not really all that bad. I really don't think it's all that bad as a cheap little toy. There was another one in the same series that had a tail that would thrash back and forth. Its mechanism was here on its stomach, and I honestly thought if this guy goes up on my shelf, you know, all my Godzillas are kind of just facing forward like this. And I'd rather have one where the weirdness of the sculpt was back here in the tail as opposed to right center frame on the figure. That's why I picked this one of the two. Probably not going to get the tail thrashing one. I'm really trying not to get hyped and crazy about this as much as I want to. I know there'll be sales and clearance and all that kind of stuff, because as much as I'm excited, and I hope this movie's great, and I hope it appeals to mass audiences, I'm not counting on any bit of that actually happening. Sadly, the more I look at this stuff, the more it comes out. I have no reason to feel that way from the trailers, but I'm just really concerned if we're going to have 1998 all over again, and we're going to have a giant flop of a film, and it's going to be Matthew Broderick all over again. I really hope not. I have faith in the people making it that they're not going to do us that bad, but it's also a possibility, and I'm almost at the point now where I don't want to get my hopes up too high. But on the other end of things, there are several more figures that are kind of cool that have come out. There's the giant 40-inch one from Jakks Pacific. I've already talked about that. And Bandai Creations did another version where he's significantly taller. He's about 12-inch tall. He fit with those other giant-sized Godzillas at Toys R Us. And you take him and you bend him forward, and his whole head flips up, and an energy beam shoots out, and he roars. That one's actually pretty cool. I was really thinking about getting him, but he's a little more expensive, and I don't really think he's worth it. Like I said, I think we're going to get some sales on these guys as time goes on. And especially if Target or Walmart carries it, it'll probably be a little less than Toys R Us wanted for it anyway. There's also supposed to be some little chibi figure packs, kind of similar to the ones that have been peg-warming Toys R Us for a while from mostly the Heisei era that they have on there. And kind of interested to check out those ones. It's going to be two different Godzilla versus Muto packs. I don't really know what Muto is. I've seen pictures of the toys, but curious to see what it actually is in the film. But yeah, that's enough of me ranting about Godzilla. This stuff is out in stores. Go hunt it down if you want to. You could have new Godzilla in your collection. And I will do a proper review of this after the movie's out. I'll be getting the NECA figure for sure. If the movie's good enough, I'll pick up the SH Monster Arts, and you never know, I may pick up some more random Godzilla stuff as time goes on. But I hope you guys are enjoying Giant Monsters Mondays. And stay tuned, because the real Giant Monster Monday is coming up later today.